Child. So, Jerhonda Pace, the first witness that was on the stand today against R. Kelly, her peoples is coming at her. And not just any peoples, her sisters is coming for her. Saying that she lying and shit. So, look, I'm going to just play a couple clips of some things. I'm going to read to you what she said here. Look, it's in her story. Oh, somebody just started a live. Y'all see that? But it's in her story. This is the page of her sister, Simply Christella. Let's click on her little link here for her story. There it is. She says, my statement. 3 hours ago, she posted this. Then she posted this. Her sister's statement. Child. Let's read down here in the comment section because she got it down there. Okay. It says, I'm not making excuses for R. Kelly. However, I will only speak on Jerhonda Pace, whom is my sister that I no longer have ties to due to her continuously being manipulative, deceitful, and unashamed of the mockery she puts out personally against me and members of our family. Jerhonda was obsessed with R. Kelly for years. She stalked him and lied about her age to get near him for the goal of obtaining money, attention, and fame. Our family, for years, tried placing her on the right path, but she had her mind made up since a young teen that she was in love with him, and that was that. It is not fair for other members of our family to be mocked and ridiculed with her claims that no one cared about her and that she apparently had some awful childhood. No one could tell her anything, and that was the honest truth. When I was younger, I continuously supported her despite finding many inconsistencies in the things she said, even as a young child and as a teen. However, I wanted to believe her and didn't ever question her. Unfortunately, it took me to getting into my 20s to realize the many lies she spread and to be able to see past the fact she was my sister. But that she was a mentally sick person that will lie on any and everyone to avoid taking accountability and find something to gain. I'm only here to set the record straight on our family and make it clear from a direct insider. We had no parts and want no parts either. Thank you. Best of luck to her and others. Signed, CS. Now, let me go down here reading her little caption underneath this post. She says, statement from me and my older sister regarding the R. Kelly trial and our sister Jerhonda Pace testimony in New York. Child, let's read the comments though. We gonna read the next one, but let's see what they saying in the comments real quick. She said, oh my God, I'm so sorry you all had to experience this during this time. No press or media. I really want to know what she said now. The media can be very manipulative too. They didn't mention any of this. Wow. Sister said, appreciate your support. I'm referring to what's being said in the press directly by her, or has been said directly by her, along with squashing any confusion regarding where certain members of our family may be criticized. As for my oldest sister, same thing. But mainly she's speaking out due to Jerhonda claiming in court that she had pictures of her deceased child on a memory card. When my niece's hospitalization, Jerhonda was never there. So if she has photos, they were stolen. Or in my opinion, she's simply lying by bringing up a deceased child to garnish sympathy. Oh, child. Wait, I wasn't ready for that. Do y'all see that? One more time. I'm going to read that for y'all one more time. Okay? Whew. As for my oldest sister, same thing. But mainly she's speaking out due to Jerhonda claiming in court that she had pictures of her deceased child on a memory card when during my niece's hospitalization, Jerhonda was never there. So if she has photos, they were stolen. Or in my opinion, she's simply lying by bringing up a deceased child to garnish sympathy. Oh, child, let me read these goddamn comments. I wasn't ready. So C. Kane says, oh my God, I can't believe she would go that low. I find that very disrespectful, and yeah, she went very low by not respecting your sister's baby. That's very private, and like she stated, a very touchy subject. She wasn't even there. Wow. I hope you guys stay strong throughout this trial and bring some truths to light. I'm literally shocked. Will your mom be able to speak? Will your mom be able to at least speak out on some of these rumors and lies she put out? I can only imagine how much crazier it's about to get. Thank you and your sis for speaking out, telling your truths. Oh, child. Somebody else commented and said, I just want to say I truly appreciate you for being honest and transparent. I know how difficult this all can be. I'm sure you and your sister came from a caring family, and we, the public, can tell she's not being honest. I pray that you speak to the authorities. Oh, child. Was y'all ready? Put it in the goddamn comments. Was y'all ready for this? Oh, they exposing her out here. Lovely Dip T. I'm sorry you were suffering, but why did you support your sister with SRK if you knew she stalked him? Simply Crystal, although I may have not been 100% believer, at the end of the day, that was and still is my big sister. I was just wanting to support her, but like I said, going into my 20s, I just finally had enough of biting my tongue and questioning things. It still hurts that my sister isn't exactly the hero I thought she was, but right is right and wrong is wrong, and I cannot continue to support outright lies just simply due to blood ties and love for my sister. Lovely Dip replied and said, R. Kelly is on trial for his freedom. Jerhonda is their top witness. This is wrong. Y'all need to tell the court the truth. This man's life is at stake. Simply Christella said, I feel I'm doing enough in my part by speaking up. I can only speak on some of the things Jerhonda has said that I know are lies. That's it, you know. Quitta Mori says, if you know that your sister is lying, then what makes you think that everyone is telling the truth? I'm glad that you're finally coming out and speaking up. Hopefully you'll have a change of heart. If you would just do your research, it's a lot of R. Kelly supporters who would be gladly to enlighten you on the whole truth about all the accusers. That part. Debbie said, I'm sorry that you even had to make this statement. Please keep your mind clear and concentrate on your baby. Child, somebody tagged everybody in this one. Woo! Let's move on and see what the other sister had to say. And then I want to play for y'all a clip of what somebody else got to say about Jerhonda Pace. Lying on R. Kelly. Alright, so the other sister's post, if we slid over to the second post, it says, Tanika Brown, I've kept silent for the most part out of respect for our family. However, even I eventually have a limit, especially when lies are being spewed in regards to subject matter that is extremely sensitive and private to me. Jerhonda Pace is one of my younger sisters, and although it brings me no enjoyment to have to come out against her, right is right and wrong is wrong. Her testifying in courts against R. Kelly is her right, but lying about certain things, and especially bringing up my deceased daughter, whom is currently still being mourned, was extremely distasteful and unacceptable. My child deserves to be able to rest in peace. I do not appreciate having to relive trauma due to her trying to garnish sympathy from the press because she chose to live a lie and not take accountability for her actions. Side note, to make it clear, I'm not in agreement with things R. Kelly has allegedly done, but I will defend myself and my family. Child, they is coming at her, so real quick, I'm going to play this clip of y'all of a friend of Jerhonda Pace and how she says Jerhonda Pace had lied from the gate. Alright, so this clip here, you're going to hear Jerhonda out her mouth say that she did lie to R. Kelly about her age. Out her own mouth. And then we're going to play a little recording of a friend of hers who says she lied too.
By this time, it was like a little bit after my 16th birthday. I did lie about my age and tell him that I was 19. He invited me back to his mansion in Olympia Fields, and he told me to bring a bathing suit. By this time, it was like a little bit after my 16th birthday. I did lie about my age and tell him that I was 19.
A 15-year-old defending a grown man being charged with child pornography.
I met Jerhonda in April 2008 at one of R. Kelly's court dates. My cousin couldn't go with me, so I was there by myself. And since she was there by herself, I struck up a conversation with her. I asked her how long has she been a fan, where she stayed at. I thought she lived a lot closer than what she did. She told me she lived out at, I believe it was Elgin at the time, or out by Elgin. So I asked her how did she get there, and she said that she called the Metro, or some days she might spend the night at her grandmother's house, which lived on the west side. When I first met her, she looked young. So when I first met her, I was like, okay, I don't think she's as old as she's saying she is, but the way she carried herself and the way she acted, I believed that she was her age, that she said, which was 18 at the time. Me and Jerhonda were like best friends. We were on the phone every day, talking, texting. We were hanging out when she came to the city. My son went to her house and spent the night a few times. We were very close. One time, she calls me up and asks me to go to a party with her. And I asked her, where's the party at? She was like, oh, it's in Olympia Fields. So I'm like, okay. Now, I already know R. Kelly lives in Olympia Fields. So I'm like, okay, sure, let's go. I'll go with you. And I'm like, well, how did you get invited to this party? And she was like, oh, I'm friends with this guy named Bubba on MySpace. He invited me. So I'm like, okay. So we go to the party. We get to his house, and he asks us for our ID. Well, I gave him my ID. I was over 21. So I give him my ID, and then when he asked her for her ID, she came up with a story that she had left it at her uncle's house, who lived down the street from him, and we'll go get it and be back. We never went back. Jerhonda didn't have an ID. Jerhonda didn't have an uncle that stayed down the street. I wasn't even suspicious at that time. And at about 2011, 2012, she came to my house, and we were sitting on my couch in the living room, and she was like, I have something to tell you, but I don't want you to think different of me, or I don't want you to be mad at me. And I'm like, what could you have to tell me that would make me mad at you? And then that's when she told me that she wasn't 18 when I met her. At that time, she had told me a story about her buying a car that was more than $10,000, and it was reported to the IRS. She told me that her father died and she got his life insurance money. And then, I want to say maybe a month or two later, she told me that she had a settlement from R. Kelly for suing him, because she said that she was underage. And I was like, how were you underage if you were supposed to have been 18? I didn't get it. I didn't go into details with her. I didn't push her on it. But that's how I found out. When she finally came clean to me about her age, she told me that she was 16 in 2008, which now I'm finding out that she wasn't even 16 in 2008. She was younger than that. We started growing apart, I guess, after she met her now husband, and she moved. Which is expected, you know, you grow up. My son got older, I had to focus more on him and going to school. She had to focus more on what she was doing. So talking every day on the phone made it went down to talking once or twice a week on the phone. And then when she did her first, and I guess it was the first interview with BuzzFeed, that's when I was like, okay, this friendship cannot go any further. I haven't followed the case. I haven't read anything she's done besides that one BuzzFeed interview. And with that, it's just like, okay, well, why? And it is not even more of the point of her lying. It's just, I feel like Jerhonda had a hidden agenda from the beginning. Because if you're a fan and you're going to court every day and you got to support him in 2008, then you wouldn't be doing this now. It's like, if you had this alleged relationship with him, then for all I know, you never told him how old you are. So if you had this relationship, then you were still lying to him about your age. Your mother was lying about your age. You had so many people covering for you. I believe that it was for financial gain. The criminal justice people and a lot of other people might feel that he was guilty in 2008 and he got away with it. And because it was I guess a black stain to them, it's more of a, we're going to find a way to get you now. That's why I don't agree with the Me Too in a lot of ways, because it's more of a, we couldn't get him then, but because of this Me Too movement, people are going to be more likely to say he's guilty. Now, as a black black woman, I would say that I don't disagree with the entirety. I disagree with the ones that are using that movement for their own agenda. While I do believe some women's stories might be true, I believe it's a witch hunt for any man, black or white. For the grown women, I don't know their stories. I don't know if what they're saying is true or not. But when I met R. Kelly, the words that I was told was, you have to be willing to do what I say. So as an adult, if you made that decision to do what he say, why complain 10 years later? You were grown when you made that decision. He didn't force you to do anything. He said that the one thing that he wanted was a woman that would be willing to do what he say do. To me, that means anything. It doesn't, anything under the sun that I tell you to do, you have to be willing to do it, no questions asked. And with me, that didn't sit right. So I told him I'll call him back when I make a decision. I never called back. As far as I know, she called back.
So there y'all have it. Her family exposed her. A friend at the time that was hanging out with her during that R. Kelly period that she was with or around R. Kelly is exposing her. That witness y'all see on stand at this R. Kelly trial right now, Jerhonda Pace, is trash. Okay? Really can't say allegedly. Her folks is actually putting it out there for us. We can't make this up. We can't make this up. You know, the prosecution waved their hands around and said, hey, anybody been with this man, come holler at us. She is one of those folks who came hollered at him. You're going to find this throughout the whole trial. You're going to see a lot of these witnesses. These witnesses was involved with R. Kelly to a point. Not as involved the way they're saying. This was a money grab for everybody. He an R&B singer. You got rappers out here that's underground rappers. They never been in the presence of a famous rapper before. And they do everything they can to try to get around the famous rappers. You know, not nothing sexually at all. Just trying to be around somebody famous. I know rappers that will pay $700 to go to a venue just to get on stage, to be around somebody famous. These chicks was trying to use their sexuality to get near an R&B superstar. What happened? Everybody seen it as a money grab. Everybody. The higher ups in the music industry that we don't see on camera. To these females who just thought they could throw some pussy in his face and they was going to be wifey, or they was going to make it in a video, or whatever it may have been. They wanted some kind of fame out of this. Fame and money. At the end of the day, after everything was said and done, people seen an opportunity to go into R. Kelly's pockets, and they took that opportunity. Again, we cannot make this shit up. Alright guys, do me a favor, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed to the channel. I appreciate you for watching. Till next video. We can't make this shit up.